Let's get it going, fuckers. It's episode 12 of Choice Nugs Only, and we'll say this again throughout the podcast, but the Hotbox hotline is up and running. So the number for that is 702-907-TOKE. So you can call that and leave us a message. Leave us your choice nugs. So whether it's music picks, movies, we want to hear what you're liking, what you're digging. If there's stuff you want us to talk about, questions or anything like, ideas that you have or whatnot, we want to hear it. So send it into the Hotbox hotline. We want to hear from you. And if you're liking the show, make sure you subscribe, rate, and review. So we also have an email up and running too. So that's been there for a little bit. I just always forget to put it on there. So it's perry@ittybittypodcast.com. So you can send in any, artwork that you want us to share on our social media, or any music that you want us to play at the end of the show. So without any further ado, this is Choice Nugs Only. So tune in and smoke out. Alright, fucking Choice Nugs Only. Another episode, another week. I'm Perry.
I'm Carson.
Fuck yeah, we nailed it that time. So,
we're getting better, dude.
We're evolving as podcast hosts. Kicking off another episode before we forget, because we will forget because we're fucking stoners. Make sure you call in to the Hotbox hotline. It's officially live and active. So the number for that is going to be 702-907-TOKE. That's 702-907-TOKE 8653. So call in with your... Well, I'll let Carson explain it. He explained it best. So Carson, take it away.
Well, yeah. Kitty? You call the Hotbox hotline with your choice nugs, your ideas, your music you've been listening to, movies you've been watching, whatever you want to talk about, man. We'll hear you out, and then we'll talk about it on the show if that's how we're doing it. So yeah, we listen to them and then talk about it.
I think we'll play them on the show. If we end up getting a shit ton, we're not going to play every single one every week, but we'll have a rotation of some sort. Don't call the Hotbox hotline, kitty.
This cat's just freaking out.
Yeah, this cat is doing too much. Cats could never just leave you be. If you go try to talk to a cat, they're like, fuck off.
But as soon as you start doing something,
yeah,
they're like, hey, what the fuck? What's up?
This cat is like sitting behind me now. I've had 2 podcasts before where cats come and fuck with me, but I'm cool with them. I fuck with cats. So, Carson, what's going on in Carson's world?
Got a new tattoo last night.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
What'd you get? Ooh, fucking skull. It looks like Tupac, bro. It's like a Tupac skull. Yeah,
it's like a skull without the jaw.
What does that say?
The lettering in it. Mm-hmm. That's G59.
Did you join a gang? Is that a gang tattoo?
Gotta rep the set, man. No, that's a Suicide Boys record label. Oh. And yeah, so I mean that's kind of how they market themselves, like gotcha. Gray gang, G59. But a lot of people who listen to their music will get some sort of like Gray 59 related tattoo. So I was like, fuck yeah, I'll do that. Oh. I was just out in Olympia last night, and it's like, fuck. Kind of just want to go get a tattoo. So I found the only shop that was open at that time, and I just walked in there like, hey, you guys got time for one more? I'm like, yeah, sit the fuck down, here we go.
That can always be dangerous though. You never know. I had a tattoo that I started when I was 17, I think, the one on my left arm, and it's pretty big. It goes all the way up to the top, but I went to just get it filled in. It had been half done, and I figured, I could just go and get it filled in, and everybody's like, well, I want to take a picture of it, take a couple days. And so I found a guy who was like, yeah, just come in, I'll fucking color it in. I'm like, all right, cool. Like, sweet. Like, that's what I wanted. He wasn't happy about it. He was like, pissed that he had to finish somebody else's tattoo, but he made it look good and fucking finished it. So whatever, fuck it,
Yeah, dude. Pretty cool.
So, funny story on the way to come in here real quick before we get into the show. Stopped at the weed store, as I often do.
Of course, naturally.
And as I'm inside, I pull up, and it's like, I just pull up easily. I park my car. There's a couple cars in front of me. I go inside, and a couple of people in the weed store leave. It's pretty busy as I'm waiting there. They exit, And then a minute later or so, I hear like fucking the ground rumbling and shit, and all these bikes pulled in. So I'm like, oh shit. So I come outside. I'm not like scared or anything. I'm like, that's, you know, it's always cool when you see those motherfuckers all riding together. So I come out and it's all their bikes and then my fucking car there at the end, my little Honda. And I'm just like, it's a newer Honda at least. It's not like a piece of shit. I'm just like, hey. And so I get in my car and I'm like, all right, don't do anything fucking stupid. You just walked out of the weed store. I don't want to look like I'm a fucking like stoner fucking idiot. So I like back my car up, make sure I don't hit any of their bikes, because there's like damn near 20 of them.
Right.
And they're all outside the bar smoking. There's a bar right next to the weed store.
Which one did you go to?
420. The one in...
up in Olympia?
No, the one in Elma.
Oh, okay. I got you.
And so they all pulled in. And so, you know, I go to pull out. I'm like, don't do anything embarrassing. And so I check my mirrors and I'm looking. I fucking triple check. I'm like, all right, I'm good. I don't see anybody. And I go to pull out and I hear somebody beep. I'm like, where the fuck? And I look in my mirror and I see somebody fucking they must have come through the intersection on the opposite side fast, because I didn't see him when I, had just checked.
Right.
So I pull out and they stop and they fucking, and as I go to take a left, I can hear them like scream. I have my windows up already and I can hear them screaming out their window. Just
you
like,
fucking
yeah,
dumbass.
like, yeah, dude, like I shouldn't have fucking cut you off, but it was obviously an accident. It wasn't like I meant to do that.
Just like
but I'm like, yeah, I
bad.
get it. I've had that fucking reaction before.
Yeah.
So, but you're lucky you didn't do that shit where I come from, because you get stabbed in the fucking neck. I think we've talked about that before.
Oh, yeah.
So
You don't cut a bitch off in Brockton.
Mm-hmm. No way, no how. Dude. Fucking. So what's going on with you?
Well, speaking of stoner things, you know the Jack in the Box munchie meal?
Mm-hmm.
Like $6. Oh, yeah. Yeah. We were coming back from the Nas show.
And I didn't get enough. I felt like I got gypped on food, but apparently I had a shitload of food.
It's so much food.
Yeah.
It's a ridiculous amount, because you get like your choice of that entree, the half and half fries, curly and regular, the 2 tacos, and the medium drink for $6. I'm just shilling for Jack in the Box right now.
Only when you're fucked up, though.
Right.
Only that shit does not taste good otherwise.
But the one in Aberdeen's been closed for, however many months now, and it just reopened. So I'm coming home from work the other day, and I'm like, oh shit, Jack in the Box. All right, and it's after 9, so the munchie meal's $6. I'm like, yeah, okay, sure. So I go and I pull in there, and I get in line. I'm just looking at the menu, and some guy just pops out of the fucking bushes, and he's like, hey man, I need to talk to you. And I'm like, oh,
was it Jack? That big ass head, like, get a Jack Bunchies meal. That weird ass fucking pedophile voice they give him.
No, it's like the little cone that's like on top of his head.
Yeah, and he has a cone on his nose. Like, he's got 2 cones.
You see that like poking out of the bush, and he just stands up real quick, like, hey, you go buy that munchie meal, right? We'd have a talk about that. Jeez. No, it's just some fucking guy. And, it's Aberdeen, so I assume he's high on something.
Yeah, most likely.
And I like glance at him for a second, and I just look away. Like, I'm minding my own business. Fuck this guy. And I can hear him still yelling at me. He's like, hey, I'm some sort of fucking weirdo, man. I just need some help. I'm like, well, that tells me you probably are a weirdo. Popping out of the Jack in the Box bush at 10 o'clock at night. But I roll the window down. I'm like, what do you need, man? And he's like, listen, man, I'm not some sort of drug addict. Pulls out his wallet, just flashes like $400 in cash at me. Like, look, I have money. My old lady just kicked me out of the house. She's got my kid. I'm hungry as shit. I'm going to my brother's house. I just need some fucking food. The lobby's closed. You're going through the drive-thru. Will you get me something? Here's $20. I'm like, what? Like, that's a lot to process, man. But you're the one handing me money, so fuck it. Sure.
Were you allegedly stoned? No, it's not stoned.
No, okay, actually, I wasn't.
I don't know if I would have been able to handle that stoned. Like, what?
Yeah, you're just chilling in your car, hanging out.
I would have grabbed his wallet and backed over him. Oh, shit. There's a wall there.
My money now, bitch. Fuck you. No, but I just looked at him for a second, and I'm like, all right, well, what do you want? He's like, I don't know why I remember his exact order, but he's like, number 6, curly fries and a Dr. Pepper. That's all I want. I'm like, fuck. Yeah, all right, sure. Why not?
At least he was easy. At least he wasn't like, I want a number 6, no tomatoes, no onions. That would be my order. That's why I said that
like
shit.
Fucking extra pickles, fucking whatever. Some bullshit.
Secret sauce on the side.
Secret sauce on the top bun, not the bottom. It matters. But the drive-thru is just loaded up, right? Because like everybody's going there since they're open again. So I'm sitting there for a good like 20 minutes, and I saw him walk around like the front of the building. So I figured he was just like waiting at the end of the drive-thru. But I'm sitting there looking at my phone. I see him pop out of the fucking bushes again, just like directly to my left.
Why are you back in the bushes, bro?
That's what I thought. You just see his head poke out, and he's like, "Hey, did you order yet?"
Does it look like you can see where my spot in line is?
Right, like I hadn't even
passed the fucking microphone.
Yeah, I hadn't even made it to the fucking microphone yet, and I'm like, "No, why?" And he's like, "Oh, my brother's here to pick me up. We're gonna go somewhere else." I'm like, "Oh, all right, man."
Do I get to keep the 20?
Yeah, I thought about it for a second. I was just like, "Oh, fuck, I already
for
have
fucking the inconvenience fee
for having to
speak to you and your weird fucking bush fantasy,
for having to hear his life story." But I was like, "All right, man. Well, fucking good luck to you." Handed him his 20 back, and he just fucked off.
The McDonald's up the road here is giving up on their marketing. I can see it just says "Get a McRib." That's all it's just like no clever slogan. It's just like "Get a McRib."
No,
they don't even have to try out here. I know it's like just like "Get a McRib." You're already here. Like it's like you're here.
You already live in Grace Harbor. You already know you're fat and depressed. Just get a fucking McRib. You know you're gonna eat it anyway. Just get it, put it in your mouth. Fucking come back 3 hours later for another one. You fuck off.
Shit. I had a not like a similar experience, but I was in my neighborhood and I was headed to work. It was early. I was going into work for like 5:30 when I'm leaving that early. So it was early enough to where it was still kind of dark out. And so I'm going to pull to the right, and I kind of see to my left somebody like from down the street waving their arms. Mm-hmm. And I'm just like, looking at them, and they're kind of like yelling to me. And so I start to drive, and they start running towards my car.
Oh fuck.
And they're like, "Hey, I just need some help." And I'm looking, they don't have blood on them or anything like that. They're still dressed from the night before. Right. And so like it was early enough, and I live in a neighborhood to where like there's plenty of houses you could be knocking on the doors. Like, why are you the first car you see you start running after? So it was kind of weird. So I was just like, plus it was early in the morning. I'm like, dude, I can't deal with this right now. I'm like, so I just drove past him, but this dude just jumped out of nowhere, like waving his arms like, hey. So I don't know what the fuck he wanted. I didn't wait to find
said
out.
Fuck that.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know what the fuck this guy wants.
It's one of those things like where you stop to help him, you get out, and fucking a bunch of people jump in your car and drive off.
Right.
Just like, oh, well, there goes that shit.
Dude, this cat's tripping me out. It just scared the shit out of me. Fuck.
Yeah, she gets around.
That shit, I've always had that, like, that not fear, but when I was younger, I was driving in my old Scion TC, and I thought I was cool. And I was almost home, and I had come from a buddy's house up the road, and we were fucking blazed. And so because I was blazed, I was driving super carefully, and I had come up through this. I was almost to my house, and there was a T intersection, and that was a dangerous intersection. Like, there had people who had gotten into car accidents and shit there. Like, so I was already driving cautiously, and this car pulls out in front of me, but it was almost like they saw me coming, and then they pulled out in front of me. And so it was enough time for me to stop, and they just pulled around me, and they stopped their car. And so I was fucking blazed, and I'm like, I'm almost home. I'm like, we didn't get in an accident. I don't need to exchange insurance.
Nope.
Like
I think I'm gonna just go
not
home.
Far from the hood. Like, I'm just gonna fucking get my ass home. So I just kept going, driving up the road. So I swear, like, that was like one of those times where I would have gotten out of the car, and I would have gotten either jumped or fucking. So
basically what you're saying is what really happened is you hit a lady, you committed a hit and run, and that's why you can't go back to Boston.
That's how I ended up on the on the West Coast. Yeah. Fucking just plowed over. My bad. Kitty, you're a cute cat, but you're fucking in my way.
Yeah, she's in the shit right now.
I had some shit that I wanted to get to this week.
What you got?
See. Well, let's see. Oh yeah, I saw some shit the other day. Oh no. Let me say this, because I'm possibly going tonight. But so I was talking to my mom the other day, and I'm like, hey, I'm thinking about going to see the Joker this weekend. She's like, don't go see that movie. It's dangerous. I was like,
oh man. Now,
I'm
when she says dangerous, does she mean like socially, like it's promoting?
Not dangerous socially. No, like she thought like I would get shot at the theater. I'm like, bruh, like it's 2019. We're to the point now. I can go to like Walmart anywhere and get fucking shot. Like there was a shooting at the Walmart near us. I mean, I know it was a carjacking, but still, it was like motherfucker got shot in broad daylight in the Walmart like parking lot, and the dude was in the store before that. I think, I don't know, I might just be making that up, but.
To be fair, Walmart's the fucking Wild West, dude. You
is.
step in those doors.
Yeah. Ever see those people of Walmart things?
Yeah,
they're fucking hilarious.
I remember when that website first went up. That was pretty cool.
Well, yeah, when the internet first came out, they had a lot of fucking fun. I mean, there's still a lot of funny shit, but now it's like a lot. It's like so saturated with shit as we're putting out an internet podcast.
I was about to say, it's
subscribe, rate, and review if we haven't said it already.
Is that a good time to plug everything? Check out Choice Nugs Only on Instagram, fucking Twitter. Where else are we? Twitter. Even though we don't tweet, or do you tweet on there?
I do tweet through the Instagram. I need to get better. Whenever I have like a thought, I should just fucking send it out and tweet it. But like that's not my first reaction. You know?
That's something that I always had an issue with too, is like, cause I'll think about like, I need to be on social media more.
Mm-hmm.
And then like whenever I like think of something or like go to do something, my first reaction isn't to just put it on Twitter or take a picture, put it on Instagram right then and there.
Right.
So like my phone's full of pictures of shit like from different concerts that I could be posting like right now, but I just, I don't know. They just stay in there. I'm like, oh fuck, I'll get to it later, and then I don't.
Yeah, it's hard when you're trying to like. My wife takes a lot of pictures when we're out and doing shit. I'm not a big picture taker, but with Instagram and all that shit, you have to kind of take pictures. But I don't want to be fake about it and shit. I know a lot of people like post these. I was at the beach in the summer and I saw these bitches fucking taking their Instagram pictures and shit, just like sticking their butts out. I'm like, you motherfuckers ain't got no booties. But no, it's just getting used to doing it. But what the fuck were we talking about? How did we get on to talking about Instagram?
What the fuck, cat? Did you see that shit?
What did that cat just do?
Just took the cap from my water bottle, picked it up, and now it's hers.
But no, dangerous in the sense that like, I don't know how we got off that dangerous in the sense that like, I would get fucking shot, but I still want to see it. It looks really good, so I'm gonna try and go see that shit tonight if my wife is not working.
She lost the cap. No, it looks really good. All the reviews I've seen for it, they say it's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Best Joker since what's his name? Heath Ledger, yeah. Although I can't really speak on that. I've never seen The Dark Knight.
I've only talked to like one other person who thought that Jared Leto was a good Joker.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't think it. They were like, well, he's a modern Joker. I'm like, you could have gone with a modern Joker without making him like a fucking
silly.
Yeah, he was just, everything about him was silly. It was just like, he doesn't like, he was like wearing leather pants and like they made him all completely pale from top to bottom. And I mean, we'll see.
It's weird.
Yeah, who knows? Fucking.
What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, you were saying like the internet used to be just like a fucking lawless wasteland, whatever the fuck.
That's how he got started on that. Yeah, that's right.
It's like, I was gonna say, it's become so corporate with like YouTube and fucking Google and everything, but here we are trying to make money with a podcast. So
yeah. Well, we used to watch like we would sit and watch YouTube on Friday nights and like get stoned if there's not shit going on. I mean, this occasionally we'd do it when we would get home. You know, you just lay down, fucking watch some YouTube and shit. But that was when you'd have to watch it on a desktop. You'd have to go to youtube.com and shit.
Couldn't just have it on your phone with you wherever you wanted.
But now it's just, there's so many, and people are like, oh, fuck it. There's like YouTube shows and shit. There's actually a YouTube show about Brockton, I think. There's some dude named, it's like called Wayne or some shit. I haven't heard of it. I haven't watched it, but supposedly it's set in Brockton, Mass. But
no, wait. In like 2011, 2012, how old were you?
I can't do math, man. I don't know. It was like 7 years. It just asked me how old I was 7 years ago. Fucking like shit. How old am I now? 23. I was 23.
23. Okay, so you were my age now back then.
Back then, yeah.
Back in those days. Back in the time.
Back in my day.
So did you ever fuck around with like I almost said the completely wrong name. Chat roulette. I almost said chat something
Chat
else.
roulette. No.
Or Omegle.
No, I just was listening to something about chat roulette. No, I haven't. I never got into chat roulette.
Okay, that was something that like me and my friends did in high school.
I heard it was a lot of dicks, and so I was like, I don't want to accidentally see a bunch of dicks.
Mostly,
Yeah.
I mean, you'd meet some people that like you could just have a fucking brief conversation with, like, what up, stranger, from across the country or across the world away. But mostly it was just like, that's a dick, next, that's a dick, that's a dick. But the whole point was to get girls on there.
Oh.
And then just like, hey, show us your titties.
Right.
Because you're like,
just chat roulette. Yeah, you
right.
just gotta scroll through the dicks. I mean, and because you look at your own dick every day. It's not that big a deal,
It's just like another one. Hey,
titties
right there. No, you meet some nasty.
So does that make you
hoes on
gay
there
then?
too.
If you've looked at 50 dicks to get to one set of titties? I don't know.
I have to do it at work all the time.
Yeah.
Well,
Speaking of things that make you gay, so in my 30 years, this has never happened to me before. But I feel like this is a safe place where I can share this story.
You're in your safe space, Perry.
So the only time I when I'm in my daily routine, I like to work out. If I'm working, I like to fucking jerk off or, bust a nut, So occasionally my wife's not there or she's sleeping, and apparently you're not supposed to have sex with people while they're sleeping.
Yeah,
So
that's generally frowned upon.
So, occasionally I'll have to, rub one out.
Of course.
So I don't think my wife was here at the time, but I was getting ready to get in the shower. So we'll just say
I like your sound effects.
Yeah. So rub one out, fucking get in the shower, because wipe that shit off. And I don't know if you've ever taken a shower with fucking semen or try to get it off. It just kind of goes up into this gelatinous little fucking ball.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, right?
Yeah, so you can't get that shit off no better.
Fuck off.
Get the shit off. So I thought I had got it all off me. I thought I was all good and shit. So I'm drying myself off, and I'm going to floss, and I feel some shit on the inside of my lip.
Oh God.
And I'm just like,
oh no.
And I go and I look, and it's fucking white shit. I'm like, I'm 30 years old, and I finally have fucking had semen in my mouth. But it didn't. It was all washed and shit, and so I mean, it was at least clean.
I
washed all the
gay
sperm
off of
out.
it.
Yeah, so I didn't get pregnant.
That's good. That's good. But
so yeah, fucking that's.
Now you can really tell your friend's mom that there's a bunch of cum in your tummy.
Yeah, there we go. It all comes back around. I had some cum in my tummy. Didn't quite get to my tummy yet, though.
Full circle, dude. Full circle.
That's a true fucking story.
Oh,
and
that's great.
That's why I'm embarrassing as fuck. So yeah. Sorry, I'll get off the fucking topic of semen. So the local grocery store. I've probably mentioned on here that I've dabbled in real estate.
Yeah.
So I was working for a local real estate company for a very short amount of time. Didn't really do shit. Just worked there for a short amount of time, but in that time period, they took a picture of me to put on their company picture.
Right.
So I'm at the grocery store the other day, and it's been there for a while, and I look up, and damn near every single cart has my picture on it. In the fucking grocery store in a suit, and I'm every time I go there I'm in a suit because I'm always coming from fucking work. So I'm just I look down, I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ, every time.
Have you ever had people ask you about it?
No, not yet, but I'm sure it's fucking coming. I'm sure it's coming at some point.
Oh, which grocery store is that?
I'm not even gonna say. It's the one in town, I'll tell you that.
In this town?
No, where I live.
Oh, okay.
So I'll tell you, yeah, it's where by me. So
I'm gonna go there.
And take a picture of it.
No, I'm well, yes, actually. I'm just gonna find a time when I know you're gonna be there. I'm gonna show up, and I'm just gonna start pointing you out. That's suit guy from the cart.
Go ask him something about fucking real estate.
Yeah, he knows a lot about it. He's pretty famous, actually.
Yeah, I quit that shit real quick. Did the test, got licensed, and was just not for me. On to a podcast. Did you see that lady who was fucking chirping what's her name? AOC. I can never say her full name.
I know who you're talking about.
With the the lady with the eat the babies thing. Did you see that shit? She had a shirt that said like, save the planet, eat the babies, or eat the children. That's what it said.
What?
She was some chick. I don't know. So I've read different things. You can never tell what with like fucking left leaning shit and right leaning shit. Like, you know, they both have their own versions of what happened.
Mm-hmm.
So some people are like, oh, she was a Trump troller, you know, fucking talking about save the planet, eat the children. And she was like, you couldn't tell if she was mentally ill or not. And like, so it was just a really weird fucking video. And it was, yeah. But I want that shirt was the bottom line.
Oh, okay.
Save the planet, eat the children like 1,000 times. I'll wear that
like
fucking
100%.
shirt. Yeah, like fucking save the planet, eat the children. Fucking why not?
Just,
dude?
yeah.
People would be like, "What's up with that fucking psychopath?" Like, imagine you walked into like a Kids R Us or some shit and just like wearing a Save the Planet, Eat the Children T-shirt.
Did you just say a Kids R Us?
Yeah.
Like, what?
I mean, I thought
like
of
a Toys R Us.
Yeah, they have a Kids R Us though. They.
Oh, is that a thing?
Yeah.
Maybe I'm the retarded one. Can I say that word still?
I mean, you can say whatever the fuck you want, man. Yeah, Kids R Us. I just said it for the purposes of that story. Toys R Us. I mean, I would still go to Toys R Us as an adult. So, Kids R Us was like.
Did they get saved from bankruptcy?
Or maybe it was Babies R Us. Maybe I'm just making shit up.
Oh, I don't know.
Whatever, Toys R Us.
But eat the children.
I would walk in. Yeah, you get the point.
Yeah.
You're like,
just walk in there. Hey, what's up?
I'm pretty sure Kids R Us exists, but we'll fucking. I don't feel like fucking looking it up right now.
Not even with your wife, but just by yourself. You know, you put one of those shirts on, go walking into a Toys R Us. Hey, what's up? Where's your superhero toys at?
Mm-hmm. Or just hang out at like high schools. What's going on, kids?
Like, hey, what's up? The fuck's like that guy's here. He's outside of the school every day at 3:00. He's been here for a month. What the fuck?
He's trying to save the planet, guys.
He's gonna get one of us.
Fuck, man. Shit.
The group chat that I'm in pitches me shit all the time because I drive that Mustang. They call me fucking like Wooderson from what's the name of the movie I'm trying to think of? It's about, you know, high school 70. Why can't I
like
think
Archie?
of the name? No, Dazed and Confused.
Oh, Dazed and Confused. Yeah.
One of my favorite movies, and I couldn't remember the name.
Fucking, that's a great movie.
But you know the guy who's like, you know, talking about them high school girls.
McConaughey.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. They're like, oh yeah, it's about 3:00. You gonna go park your Mustang out in front of the middle school?
Oh, so they say that shit to you?
Yeah.
Yeah, that dude is creepy.
Cruise for some 8th graders.
What does he say? The thing about high school girls is I get older,
they stay the same age.
Jesus.
That was one of our friends' senior quote.
That was a senior quote, and the school let him get away with it. That's awesome.
Well, because our teacher for digital media was the one who was in charge of yearbook, and he didn't give a shit. He didn't want to work at that school anymore. Right. He was fucking checked out. Because I think he started working there, because like our middle school and high school were like the same building. I think he started there when I started 7th grade, and his last year was my senior year. So in that fucking 6 years, he was over it. That last year, he's like, fuck. It's like our buddy Jake from work, you know, he was. Well, can I say this? Yeah, I'm not saying anything bad about him, Mr. Fornia. From fucking Monty High School, if he ever listens to this bullshit, Jake would be like, hey, Mr. Fornia, can I go do this fucking like random thing on the other side of the school? He's like, I tell you what, Jake, I'll cut you a deal. You don't get me in trouble. You can do whatever you want. I'll give you a B for the entire year. And he's like, okay, yeah. That's exactly what happened.
Shit.
He didn't give a shit. But yeah, yearbook got kind of wild because of that. Like we had some weird senior quotes. We had pictures like people from my class put a bunch of like senior year pictures in like the 8th grade section and just fucked with it. There was like a hobbies page, and a couple guys got put in there for duck hunting, and so there's a picture of them holding their shotguns and ducks and stuff.
It's a redneck ass fucking school.
Oh yeah, you know, fuck out in the sticks. But instead of duck hunting, they put dick hunting in the yearbook, and they all got printed and started selling them before anybody noticed.
Jesus,
so
that's funny.
Administration was pissed, but of course we thought it was hilarious.
That's funny. We had a teacher who had completely checked out at one point. He's probably dead, so I can fucking say his name. It was Mr. Giannakoulis. I think that was his fucking name.
Mila Kunis?
No, it was like a Greek dude. He was an old Greek dude.
Yeah.
And nice guy, dude. But like the first fucking day of class, I think it was like 7th or 8th grade. I still remember this. I'm sitting there and I'm all fucking like gothed out because I'm in 7th and 8th grade. So I've got all my black shit on.
Edgy as fuck.
My fucking black nail polish, my Jinko jeans and shit.
You had Jinko jeans?
Oh, I fucking had Jinko jeans.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Wow.
And my fucking backwards cap. Like I was Fred Durst and shit. But anyway. So we walk in. It's like the first day of 7th or 8th grade. It was, I think it was biology or chemistry. It must have been chemistry. Mm-hmm. And this dude just starts walking around the classroom. Before he doesn't say anything. He just starts spilling. He's got a jug of some shit. He just starts spilling it and walking up and down the fucking rows of the school and of the classroom. And you're just like, what the fuck is this guy doing?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden your nose starts burning. You're like,
and it was liquor.
No, it's fucking ammonia.
Oh, what the fuck?
He's like, do you guys smell that? It's ammonia. It's dangerous. Chemistry is a dangerous class. You got to be careful with stuff. I don't remember like the fucking like the long and the short of what he said,
but that was his point.
That was his point as he's pouring fucking ammonia in the entire classroom.
Just what the fuck? Just dumping it all over the floor.
He's definitely dead. He was old as fuck, but yeah, that was years ago. Yeah, I don't know how I just remembered that, but
if you were really edgy, you would have went and grabbed the fucking thing of bleach that I'm sure he had in there, start pouring that all over the ammonia.
See, that's the thing. That's how shitty of a student I was. Like, I don't even know, what does that do?
It makes mustard gas.
Oh fuck. Jesus. Yeah. I think maybe that's what he was trying to say, is if we were to pour bleach on this, then it would become, maybe that's what he was trying to say.
That chemical reaction would be very dangerous for everyone in the room, for everyone in the school, depending on how much.
Imagine if there was an accident, like a kid would just knocked over a bottle of bleach by accident at the same time and just fucking killed a classroom full of kids and himself at the same time. It would be a fucking tragedy. We just got dark real quick.
Imagine if you died wearing Jinko jeans.
If I died wearing Jinko jeans with my nails painted and my fucking ball chain.
That's how they found you.
Oh, fuck. Might as well have had my fucking thumb up my ass at the same time. Jesus fucking Christ. But yeah, man. I mean, what do you want me to say? I wore them. They're supposed to make a comeback, but fuck,
I was hearing that. So is the.
They would get torn the fuck up all the time. They're the dumbest fucking things ever.
Dragging the ground.
Yeah, fucking, just always dirty, fucking dirty as fuck.
Was your backwards hat red like Fred Durst?
Yeah, well, at one point I got frosted tips. Well, first I did like fucking hydrogen peroxide,
like Eminem.
Well, no, I did hydrogen peroxide, which lightens the color of your hair, because one of the older kids I knew did it. So then I got like frosted blonde tips, and then I was like, you know what, I want to get like Fred Durst. So I got my hair dyed bleach blonde, but I left the sideburns. But because Eminem was big too, everybody, and Fred Durst always wore the hat. Nobody ever saw him without the hat on.
Right.
So they were like, oh, you're trying to be Slim Shady? I'm like, no, I'm Fred Durst, man. I was a fucking really stupid kid. I mean,
trying to copy.
Now I'm just a stupid adult, so.
Yeah, nothing really changes, right? You just get older.
Yeah, yeah. But
I dyed my hair blonde, not once, but twice in high school. Because I was a total fucking stan. Like the first time I did it, because I was like super into Eminem, and we were sitting around my buddy's house, just bored as shit. I didn't have a job because I was fucking 15, but for some reason I just had $30 in my pocket. And we were like, hey, let's go down to the fucking like haircutting place. You have to dye my hair for $30. And they're like, yeah, okay, yeah, fuck, we'll go watch you do that. And so I did that. Reed did it with me. And
you got like bleach blonde.
Oh yeah, it was like platinum, like really fucking bright blonde. And then the next year, I don't know why I fucking did it. It was just like about an exact year later, and I was like, yeah, fuck it, I'll do it again. Like,
right.
Hey, throwback. But it was fucking stupid. I think there's still a picture of me on Facebook
with the hair all bleached.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, everybody has those fucking. I mean, I'm sure like. It's hard now because I just wear a t-shirt and jeans to imagine like anybody pulling this up and being like, look what you're fucking wearing.
Right.
But I mean, maybe one day when we're wearing like aluminum foil jeans and like, fucking
No, it's like when you're a kid, you're just trying to like overexpress yourself, I guess, and it's like, I really like this thing, and then that becomes your whole thing. It's like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, I mean, you're talking to a guy who's worn pink and fucking purple crochet shorts with like a fucking brightly colored Fear and Loathing t-shirt. So,
and that's what happens when you do all the drugs.
I was just listening to fucking the Sober October podcast, and they were talking about how Ari fucking dosed Bert with Molly. Did you hear about that shit?
No, I only watched like a clip from that podcast.
I didn't watch the whole thing, but I listened to a little bit of the beginning, and he was talking about how they were like, he went to take a shot, and Ari had put fucking Molly in Bert's, and they got him high. He's like, yeah, he's not allowed in my house anymore and shit. I mean, Molly is bad. It's bad to do that. You shouldn't fucking drug anybody like who doesn't want to do fucking drugs. Like, I'd be pissed if somebody drugged me. I wouldn't be pissed because I would just do the drugs anyway, but like, ask me first. Don't just put it in my shit. But it would have been a lot worse if it was acid. That's all I'm gonna say. Like, imagine like if that shit was acid, you'd just be like, ruin your fucking.
Didn't I tell that story on the podcast?
Well, I think you've talked about it.
When they dosed me.
Is that how you ended up taking it? You got dosed? I don't know if you've told it.
I don't know if I did or not. And the long and short of it's like, I was hanging out with my friends. We're going to go to another friend's house to smoke weed. I had an open cup of tea, and one of my buddies had 2 tabs on him. Mm-hmm. So he took one right there. And then when I went into the store to go buy whatever the fuck I was buying, he dropped the other one in my tea.
Oh, fuck.
And
no, I haven't heard this.
And I came back to the car to go to that friend's house, and I'm just fucking driving, drinking the tea. We get to his house, and everybody goes inside. I'm grabbing my guitar out of the back of the car because I was just going to sit there, chill out, and fucking play music.
Do you play guitar?
A little bit.
Oh, I play a little bit too. I should get better at it.
Same, right?
We can start a fucking Choice Nugs only band, dude.
Oh, there
just
we go.
Kidding.
Create our own Choice Nugs. Yeah, no, that would never fucking happen.
I always think about picking it up again, but fuck.
Yeah, but yeah, I grab my guitar and I go inside, and as soon as I sit down with it, my buddy who had the tabs was like, just fucking busting up laughing at me. I'm just looking around like, what's funny? And he's like, there was acid in your tea, dude. You're going for a fucking ride. I was like,
how old were you?
18 or 19.
18 or 19.
Oh, I definitely wasn't 20 yet.
Right. Damn. But that was your first time?
Oh, it didn't do anything.
Oh,
very anticlimactic end to that story. But
well, I mean, that would give you like a fucking mini panic attack, I'm sure. Like waiting for that shit to hit.
No,
and then imagine like 12 hours later it finally hits you, and you just like, you're at work or something.
No, it's
or like, maybe it worked too well and you're still in that fucking simulation and this isn't actually real.
Right. Yeah, I did do that tab before I met you. You might not even be real.
Yeah, that could be a fiction of that. That's honestly, when I did acid, like, I had this dude who, he had gotten me the acid. It was at a festival, and so supposedly when you, the rule is when you get somebody acid at this festival, you're supposed to like make sure that they have a good time, make sure like they have shit to do that night. So he was all dressed up, like he looked like the fucking Mad Hatter, like all dressed up, had hella energy because he was on acid and Molly. Right. And so he's fucking zooming all over the fucking place. And so he's the one who gets me the Molly, or the acid. And they're like, yeah, take one, give it like an hour and a half or so. If you feel good, take another one, and and you'll be good. Mm-hmm. So I did that, and I took it super late, and he kept somehow like finding me. It's super dark too, so it's hard to see when you're on acid and shit too. And so it's super dark. There's different lights and shit everywhere. And this motherfucker just keeps zooming around, and he would come up and find me. And so then I would get back to my campsite, and he would come up next to me and come out of nowhere, like come out of the woodwork. And so I'm like, fucking man, you want to smoke a joint with me? Because at that time I started to like question whether or not he was real, because he just kept finding me everywhere. Mm-hmm. And so like I started smoking a joint with him, and as I lit up the joint, somebody's music next door just happened to kick on like an ignition of like a spaceship leaving.
Yeah,
this is all fucking true. Like, so I thought he did that, so I was like, hey bro, you fucking did you just do that? And he's like, you're the one holding the joint. And he had quick rebuttals for everything. So he's like, you're the one holding the joint. He's like, how do I know you didn't do that? He's like, you could. And I was like, so I went to hand him the joint, and he's like, I don't want that fucking magic joint. And so he kept fucking with me, but it was fun. But then as I started to get tired, I was just like, I'm fucking over this. And then I was just like, this motherfucker's not real. And if I just ignore him, like, he'll go away. So then I was being fucking grumpy. They call me Uncle Snoop at this fucking festival. So like, he's like, grumpy Uncle Snoop. So I was fucking just like done. I just wanted to go to bed. And then I made my wife sit and watch me piss because she was sober. She's just like, you're a fucking idiot. And so I was like, can you just come sit with me as I pee? So I like made her stay. Like, I ruined her night. I made her go to bed with me early. I'm like, just come take care of me.
Oh,
so,
that sucks.
Yeah, but that was like, it was later in the night. It was like,
it's cool though. The fucking Mad Hatter just appears in your ass.
It was fun. Like, he gave me shit to do, you know. He just kept like coming to me with like tasks and shit, so it was fun. He gave me like games, but then like it got to the end, and then I was just like, by the end I was just like, I don't really know if he was fucking real or not, because so much shit had happened like that. I thought that I was like, you know.
Dude, you know what I just remembered?
Go ahead.
I completely cut you off, but
no, go ahead. I was pretty much done
on this episode. I was gonna start it with my story about the limo and the weed dealer.
Okay, go ahead.
I don't have enough time.
You don't have enough time?
No, dude. It's yeah, we gotta start wrapping her up.
How long's your story?
I'm hyping it up now like it's the fucking best story ever, but it's gonna take me longer than 5 minutes to tell.
Okay,
and
we can put a pin in it for next week. We're doing a short episode. I'm actually gonna I'll finish up this episode. This part will be a little bit shorter, but I'll do some choice nugs since I've been neglecting some choice nugs. So I got some shit I've been listening to. So I'll talk to you guys fucking after. And make sure you hit up the Hotbox hotline. I'm gonna do all the other shit at the end, and then the intro at the beginning. But Hotbox hotline, what was that fucking number again?
Tell him that number again, Perry.
I gotta look it up. Fucking A, what the fuck? Hotbox, I just had it. It's the Hotbox hotline is 702-907-TOKE. 702-907-TOKE 8653. So
give it a call, tell us some shit. You can talk about things you like, things you don't like, things you want us to talk about. You could just ramble into the phone about conspiracy theories for all I care. I'll have a good chuckle at it.
Tell us some drug stories.
Yeah,
you know, little shit, you know. Send us, and then the email perry@ittybittypodcast.com. If you want to send us any of your fan stuff, like if you've got music you want us to play or fucking artwork or anything, so hit us up, and I'll see you guys here in a second. I'll edit it with fucking podcast magic.
See ya.
Peace. All right, so I promised you guys that I would come back on here and give you some choice nugs, because I've been kind of slacking in my picks for what I've been listening to. So some of these picks are going to be fairly new. A couple of these albums just came out recently, and then some of them are going to be a little bit older. So there's not much in new music that I got a chance to listen to that these days. I've been pretty busy, but these are the ones that actually stood out to me. So Danny Brown just came out with a new album. I don't know if you're familiar with Danny Brown, but he's pretty good. He's got kind of like an old school feel, kind of like Far Side a little bit. He's got like that kind of like, you know, hip hop, not old school like weed smoking hip hop. So I like that album. I was digging it. It just came out, so I haven't really had a chance to listen to it too much, but so yeah, I've been checking that out. And in the past couple weeks, I don't know if it's like I forget his name, Charlie Crockett, I think is his name. It's kind of like a blues country, old school country type of an album. So I was really digging on that. Blink-182 came out with a new album. It was an album, so I'm not gonna really keep going on that. I was actually pleasantly surprised with DaBaby. If I'm fucking saying that right, I'm probably saying that sounding like a fucking idiot, but DaBaby, I think is how you say it. So I was actually pleasantly surprised with that album. I mean, it wasn't like fucking setting the world on fire lyrically, but it had some fucking bangers as far as like the beats and shit go. But you know, I listened to it a couple times through. I don't think I made it through like the whole album. I just got through like the first 70% or some shit. I've heard this name before in the past, but I don't know if I've ever really listened to them. but I don't know if anybody has more songs that they would recommend. But the Social Club Misfits, I think that's how you say it, Social Club Misfit. Fuck, I probably fucked that up, but I've been checking them out a little bit. I had never really heard of them, so I checked that shit out. So, yeah, I apologize if this is a little fucking awkward. I haven't done this shit before, just where I'm just sitting here fucking free throw. Hey, my fucking dog is acting a fool right now. What's wrong, bud? Let me finish up here, dude. Hold on. Yeah, I promised you guys I would do some choice nugs. So what else have I been listening to? I've actually been listening to a little bit more Nipsey Hussle. I know that's not new, but I've been going back and listening to some Nipsey. I actually went back and listened to the Biggie Duets album. I don't know if you've ever heard the Biggie Duets album, but it was an album that came out posthumous for Biggie Smalls. He's got some duets and shit on there, obviously by the name you can tell. But he's got some with like Bob Marley, Jay-Z, Eminem. I can't even think of any else right now there. There's a bunch of good ones on there, but it's a good album, so I went back and listened to that. It's been a while since I've checked that one out. What else? This album was kind of trippy. It was Slender Bodies. I'd never heard of them, but the album cover like gives you the perspective of being on mushrooms and staring up into the trees, so that was like sparked my interest at first. So I checked that one out because of that one. So it was a good album. It was kind of like house music, but like chill house music. So I'd imagine that based on the cover, you're supposed to listen to that album when you're on drugs or something. So, but I enjoyed it. I thought it was chill. Fucking, what else have I been listening to? Fits in the Tantrum. I kind of got through that. I had never heard of them. Fits in the Tantrums. I think I fucked that up, but so I hadn't, really heard of them. So that's kind of, there's a lot of hipster shit out there. So I try to pick through and listen to, stuff that doesn't all sound the same and kind of stands out to me. But I think that's it that I've been really listening to. I feel bad. I wanted to give you guys some more choice nugs, but I'll have them. I'll make sure I do. If this is something you guys like, make sure you let us know. Call in to the Hotbox hotline. That number, I forget that number right now. It's 907. 702-907-8653. That's 702-907-TOKE. So make sure you call in and use that. That's our new voicemail set up for the show. So we want to hear from you, the listener. I'm trying to think of what else I've been listening to. Earth Gang always. I'm always jamming out to Earth Gang. JID. I don't know if I've talked about JID, J-I-D, on this podcast before, but I really do dig JID. I've been listening to his shit again. He fucks with Earth Gang and shit. So if you haven't listened to them, check them out. But yeah, and then just make sure I'll finish up with that. That's enough. I'll give you guys another 5 minutes. I think that's fucking fair. We had to do a shorter podcast this week, but it's all good. We'll get back with another long one next week. What was I gonna say? So yeah, don't forget to check us out on Instagram, Choice Nugs Only, Twitter at Choice Nugs Only, on Facebook. We've actually got a Facebook group now for the Choice Nugs Only listeners, and then there's a page there as well. And then you can check out both of our podcasts, the Itty Bitty Podcast and Choice Nugs Only, on ittybittypodcast.com. So I'm going to go see the Joker this weekend, so hopefully I don't get fucking murdered. It looks really good. Hopefully it doesn't suck. I've heard really good things about it, so I'm looking forward to it. But I'm sure we'll talk about it on the next show. But until next week, this has been Choice Nugs Only, so make sure you tune in and smoke out. Peace.